What's up? Let 'em Taters here. This war is against HDP, also called the Bastards. These guys, I believe, are like top 5 in the master bracket on the leaderboard. Very good alliance. This is the second time that we faced these guys. The first time they did win, and they had single-digit deaths. I think they had 3 deaths, in fact, so very strong alliance. Okay, they didn't place anybody in the first part of the left side of the map. No problem. My first fight is on node 27, which of course is True Strike and Stun Immune. Last war, I faced a 345 Dupe Tech Champ. Thought it was an Ultron, it was a Howard the Duck. This time, 455 Dupe Tech Champ, it is an Ultron. I anticipated this when I was scouting my path, and because of that, I brought Stark Spider-Man and Ghost Rider, both 4 stars. I don't have the 5-star versions, just to get the increased potency on my Danger Sense for Blade for this fight, and then it also pays off later in this war. I do take on a Mephisto mini, and I just wanted to make sure that I had the absolute most powerful version of Blade for that fight and also for this fight. So strategy here is just be aware of his evade. That's all I really care about. Fortunately, it never comes up. With Blade, you have the 40% chance Danger Sense if you have the villain synergy with Ghost Rider. 40% chance, ability accuracy reduction with your Danger Sense. If you have the increased potency that Stark Spider-Man gives you, that ability accuracy reduction is up to 58%. So 60% chance basically to negate abilities, which is awesome. So Blade makes Ultron very easy if you have the Trinity. Now this fight is increased power gain. Sometimes you see like a 455 Hyperion here, and he can be a little bit tricky, but it is a hood, and strategy against any mystics here, especially 4-star mystics, is just to get parries off as often as possible and try to give as much space between me and the opponent as possible, so that when they attack in, I'm, hopefully not triggering dexterity and thus mystic dispersion. But here I get down to 30%, and I decide to let it loose with a combo and an L1. Fortunately, it was enough damage to wipe him out. 17 hits, fairly quick fight. Okay, this next node is Unblockable 1 and Enhanced Special 1. Anytime you see a skill champ on this node, I automatically think Agent Venom or Moon Knight. Moon Knight can be a little irritating if you catch him on his evade phase, and then obviously his Special 1 has the, I think, three tiers or 3 components and some projectiles, so if you screw up you can take a little bit of damage. But Agent Venom is usually not really a difficult fight. It's more of like a mental fight. So going in that he's got the tenacity, he can shrug off debuffs very quickly, and I screw up twice in this fight. Once obviously I just got intercepted, and then I parry him right here, and I'm like afraid of his tenacity, or I thought maybe I saw him pull out of it, so I did not go in. Ultimately, it doesn't cost me anything, just takes a little bit more time. So that's done. The next fight is a 455, or it's a 5-star duped Mystic. I know now that I'm 1 tile away that is a 455 based on the PI there. And then when I click into the fight screen, it is confirmed a 455 because I do have the Scatter Lens Mastery. And anytime you see a Mystic here, I automatically think Mordo. Really, defensive champs are great on Bane because of the timer. Mordo is probably the most defensive champ in the game, so he's common here. And then like Kingpin is also pretty good defender for this node, and MODOK, I've seen MODOK, stuff like that. But I know that this is Mordo. He's got a Mordo in his profile, obviously high prestige, so appears on most profiles. And really the only concern with Mordo is making sure, obviously you don't want to parry, you don't want to attack into a stunned Mordo, but The biggest thing is like just being cautious of pushing him to an L3 because he's so defensive and he does have that power gain that if he does get to an L3, you know, it can do a little bit of damage. Not the most effective L3 in the game, but can do some damage. Obviously, his defensiveness gets me there, flips the Bane timer to me, and I took a little bit of damage, and then I let off of my block, and the instant that I did that, he attacks into me. So that's not fun, but ultimately not a big deal. I only care about not dying. I don't care about the health lost. If I lose health, I will heal up, not a problem. So this next fight, the aforementioned 455 Mephisto, I checked this guy's profile. I think if I remember correctly, is about Sig 80. So his Aura of Incineration is going to be activating at a fair clip, and I just have to be aware of his power gain. I initially go in to boost, but I was like, oh man, I need to heal first. And Hector, in a recent video, I think, said that he likes to boost before he heals. I don't think that I understand the logic or the math of that, but I might be missing something. Would be an interesting thing to check out. I need to follow up on that with him. Okay, so throwing on boost here. I'm doing the works just to make sure that I don't die. You know, fights against Mephisto can get out of hand if he's not baiting, or if he's got like 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion. So throw all the boosts on there. I always do this, just force of habit. I know what the note is, but going back in to check it one more time. Okay, so strategy, as usual, with Blade, any Mystic that can bleed, just parry him, and then try to get the bleeds on him as quickly as possible, and just be aware of Mystic Dispersion. So I'm trying to keep as much distance between me and Mephisto as possible here, and obviously don't want to get caught by one of his specials. All right, so I hit the L2. That's good. Lots of bleeds, which is awesome. If you see there, he activated one of his regenerations, but it actually didn't heal him, which is Blade. Very cool. And then he still has 2 charges of regen that he's just not even going to activate because, again, Blade. Blade is amazing. And just hit him with one more L2, and he is dead. So, that is it for this war. We lost again. Can't remember what the count was, but HDP is a good alliance. They're going to finish in the top 5, and I think that they're going to be trying to push for a top 3 spot. So, hope you enjoyed the video.